Hi everyone, Trevor here. I'll be starting shortly. Hi everyone, welcome to this webcast. I'm going to be going over server 2012 R2, setting up tiered storage spaces. One of the things you have to know for tiered storage spaces is that you have to enable tiered storage spaces through PowerShell. I will be making this all available on my blog, OptionKey.blogspot.ca. So, without any ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is my basically installed Windows Server. You need to have Hyper-V, the Hyper-V role enabled for this to work. So we'll just bring it up here. So you can see I have a whole bunch of disks. I don't have any server pools. I have a bunch of available disks. And yeah, that's basically it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to need PowerShell. And I'm using a TechNet resource reference where I'm getting some of the PowerShell scripts. We're going to only use the PowerShell scripting for a few of the scripts. I'm going to bring up the magnifier here so you can better see. What we're doing here. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is we already see that we have our disks here, and we're going to create a variable that puts all the storage names in. So I'm just going to first show you the command that we're going to do, and it is get physical disks and pool true where media type unspecified. Oh, what did I do? Physical disk, not disks. So this gives me a list of what I have available. I have 2 regular disks and 1 solid state. You can't really see that it says that here, but if we have a look down here, we see we have 1 SSD, 2 there, one unknown. These are the ones that are available for pooling. Now this is going to create a very simple pool. You will probably want to have some more disks than just the 3 I have, where you're going to want to set it up as a mirror, where I'm just going to be using a simple disk, which is you have no redundancy or anything like this. This is a basic how to get to where you're wanting to go. Okay, so we're going to create a variable. Do that. We use a $sign. PD equals basically what we just put in. Or media type. Oh. It would help if I could type today. There we go. And then from there, we're going to set up a new storage pool. We put in our variable. We're creating a friendly name instead of some sort of gibberish name. I'm just calling it storage spaces. This one you have to use an asterisk at the end, otherwise it doesn't escape it. And I'm going to call this data, whatever you want to call it. Oh, what did I miss? Let's see here. New storage pool, physical disk, storage subsystem, friendly name, storage spaces, friendly name, data, character 17, physical disk. Another spelling mistake again. What the? PHYSICAL storage pool, physical disk. Oh, I didn't create the new storage. What the heck? Just make sure that everything's all good. Where the heck am I going wrong here? I'm gonna pin that there. Okay. Let's try this again. New storage pool. Physical disks. Storage sub. System. Henley name. This is Henley name. Data. There we go. And now if we have a look, just minimize that, give this a refresh. We should see data in our storage pool here. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we'll just go through for the sake of doing PowerShell versus the GUI. We're going to view the storage pool we just created. The media type will tell us the drive type. So you can see here's everything that's in our storage pool. And now we're going to create our tiered storage. We're going to create a variable again. Media type. Oh, what did I do? Pool friendly name. Oh, sorry. I forgot to put the friendly name. There we go. And then we're going to do the same for the HDD tier. So I'm just going to do that. And I gotta make sure I get all that. There we go. Okay, so now just gonna minimize that. We're going to refresh. Here, and now we're going to create our virtual disks. We're going to do it in the GUI. Just a little bit easier. So let's zoom this out just a tad. So we're just going to go through the wizard. You see the data here. Storage pool. And you can see here, we have this checkbox here, create storage tiers on virtual disk. I'm just going to call this virtual data. Now, if I had enough drives, I could set up a mirroring system. So if I were to have a drive die, it would be trivial to fix it. But as it is, where'd my wizard go? Oh. There's my wizard. So I'm just going to attempt to do it with a mirror, and you can see the error because I don't have enough physical disks. I only have 3. So I'm going to select the simple. And obviously for this, for tiered storage spaces, you cannot have thin provisioning. You have to have fixed volume sizes. So I'm going to just select maximum size for both of these. And there it is, virtual disk location, disk properties, and create. And we're done. Now, we're going to assign a drive letter. There it is. How big do we want it? Drive D. Now, you have a choice here. You can go NTFS or REFS. I would recommend, for this use, for my use case that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be going with REFS. I'm going to be dealing with, basically, it's going to be a storage partition. I want redundancy. I want file correction. I want self-healing. And I also want only to be able to track block changes. Can't do that with NTFS. So for what I want, REFS is the better option. But if you want to stick with the standard quo, NTFS is available. But I'm going to go with REFS. Now the drives in my mock-up here are two 320 gig drives with 16 meg cache and one V200 Kingston SSD. I did this mock-up so I can get the storage spaces process completely bulletproof, rock solid. As you can see, typing counts. So now here there is our volume D, and I took the liberty of downloading a speed test. So I'm going to set it for 1 gig drive D. You know what? I got a Crucial SSD. So we'll just run that first and we'll compare it to that. So, because the storage space is a lot older hardware. This won't take very long to do. Now this drive is a brand new drive. I'm not going to get these numbers on the storage spaces. That's mostly due to the old drives that are going to be used. Now, as I said before, when I do the final part for my project on the actual hardware I'm going to be using, I'm going to be expecting a lot better performance out of my storage spaces array. And I can always, what I think we'll do after this is we'll just format it as NTFS and just do a comparison on the storage spaces. Because this is a single Crucial SSD BX200. We're getting what we're supposed to be getting on it: 545 read, 457 write. There we go. On the final one here, random 4K. Right. Oh. Okay. Now let's pick the D drive. Do the exact same test. So these are old Western Digital 320 gig RE3s. With a 120 gig SSD V200 cache. We're going to get to the right here. We're almost done. Yeah, when I finish my project for the storage spaces, I'll be sure to post what the read and write is on the storage spaces array there. Okay, so that's REFS. Should we try that with NTFS? Got a 1 gig write back cache. Oh. There we go. Format's complete. Where are my properties? So here's my properties for the tiered storage spaces. You can see 109 gig for the SSD, and 594 gigs for the hard drive. And it's using the whole SSD for the cache, as there's no free space available. So let's try this again on NTFS. Should have similar performance. Or possibly a little bit slower. I might have to rethink using REFS. Yeah, probably have to. Something for 2016, I suppose. Yeah, definitely gonna have to rethink the REFS. Maybe switch over to it with Server 2016. I saw a great presentation by Veeam showing how quickly backups can happen with Server 2016 and REFS. Take a 20 gig virtual machine, back it up in a matter of seconds as compared to minutes with NTFS. because the NTFS is getting much better speeds on 2012 R2. Much closer to the SSD. Impressive. And what I'll also include on my blog post is how to configure a PowerShell to auto mount the shared storage spaces. Because when the machine reboots, it automatically dismounts the drive and does not reattach it. (103 megabytes must be the SSD. The write back cache. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's how you do tiered storage pools on server 2012 R2. I hope you've enjoyed this webcast tutorial. Look for my blog posts coming soon. Thanks very much. Have a good evening.